I saw you smile in someone's arms. I said good for you, but blinked too hard. You held her close like I once stood. She touched your face like I once would. She made you laugh, I looked away. I knew that sound from better days. She sees the now, but not the past. She gets the ease I held too fast. But I knew him first, his quiet breaks, his morning thoughts, his smallest aches. I knew the way he looks when wrong. I kept him soft when things went long. She calls him kind, and so he is, but she won't know the things he missed. He tells her half of who he was. I held the rest before it passed. She holds his hand, I held his fear. She holds his name, I held him near. But I knew him first, his late night doubts, his softer voice when lights went out. I knew the cracks beneath his smile. She sees the part I loved a while. I don't want what we had then, but I still know who he was when I knew him first, not best, not right, but held his storm before his light. She gets the calm, I got the fight. He's smiling now, but I knew that night. I won't take gold or printed name, not the stories, not the frame. The house will fade, the voice will still, but love is what I'll carry until the final breath, the fading light, the last goodbye into the night. All I leave behind is how I loved, not how I looked or what I've done. Just the way I held your hand, the silent way you'd understand. I gave too much to the wrong things, but still believed in what love brings. And if you feel my warmth one day, know it's a part that chose to stay. I won't be loud in memory, but maybe love outlives the body. All I leave behind is what I gave, the way I stayed through every wave, the words I said when no one heard, the kindest truth without a word. Some chase more But love is rare and quiet gold. All I leave behind is this small song, a proof of love that lingered long. And if it's soft, and if it's kind, let that be what's left behind. I opened the drawer, you left your keys inside. They've been there for days, but I didn't notice till tonight. Your shoes are still lined, like you'll be home soon. The plant by the window has started to bloom. You're still in the hallway, even if I don't see you. You didn't take everything, but you took what you knew. The sound of the kettle reminds me of Sunday. You said you'd be back before the sky turned gray. The jacket you wore still hangs on the chair. I moved it last week, then put it back there. You're still in the hallway, even if I don't see you. You didn't take everything, but you took what you knew. You didn't take everything, but you took what you knew. I said I was fine to everyone but me. Left your things in a box and moved them twice a week. I checked her name more times than I'll admit. Told myself it's curiosity, but that's not what it is. I played it calm and cursed your street, laughed with friends, then cried through sleep. I wanted you to hurt the way you made me break. I wanted you to beg just once, just label wanting that just made it worse, and none of it reversed the first. You look so small in that photo she shared. I zoomed in to see if you looked like you cared. I said I'm past it out loud at least, but healing's not some clean release. I stopped the blame and sat with doubt. I stopped pretending to block it out. I wanted to be the one There's peace in not performing, in letting things just be. You walked away so easily, but I'm still here with me. I won't hold the ending like it's mine to fix. I won't write your reasons in my own script. I'll leave the ache where it began and walk away with both my hands. I passed your street without a plan. The light was green, but my hands ran. Your hoodie's there in the back seat, still folded right like you might need. You said we'd ride through every town. Now I just turn the volume down. I still drive with both hands tied, taking roads we lit at night. But the air feels sharp and wide without your voice to fill the I stop at lights you never see. I check my mirror like you'd be. They say to heal, just change the view. But all these streets still feel like you. You used to talk at every turn. Now silence sits and lets it burn. I still drive with songs we knew. Windows crack like I miss you, but no one's there to ask me why. I still pretend we didn't die. You left before you said goodbye. I felt the door, I saw the sky. I still drive with no one near. Still picture you just sitting here. And though you left, I stay in place. My hands still reach your empty space. You walked in like a warning, but I didn't flinch. You smiled like you'd seen me in a life I haven't lived. I asked your name and then forgot to breathe. You said something dumb and it sounded like poetry. I'm scared of fast things, but I still took your hand. Don't know where this is going, but I don't need a plan. I don't know you yet, but I want to. Even if you ruin me the way some people do, this might end messy, but maybe that's fair, 'cause I'd rather crash than not get there. I'm writing down pieces of things you said, memorizing nothing but feeling it instead. You talk in circles and I keep following. Your voice is a maze, but I don't want out of it. I swore I'd be cautious, but I jumped the line. Something about you makes risk feel like mine. I don't know you yet, but I want to. Even if I lose the calm I spent years holding on to, this could be chaos, but maybe that's right, 'cause every love I played safe went quiet. Tell me something true, I'll believe it all. Don't give me slow, just make me fall. I don't know you yet, but I want to. If this breaks me, at least I broke for you. We could burn bright or fade too fast, but I'll take the heat if you'll make it last. You ask me what, I say it's fine, but you don't hear what's not in line. You scroll your phone, I count the time. You're here with me, but not in mind. I share a thought, you're not too fast. I tell a joke, you let it pass. You're not cruel, but not quite near. You hold my hand, but not my fear. I'm still here, but still missing. You say love, but stop listening. Sleep so still, I watch the wall. I speak in dreams, you miss them all. You say we're fine, I smile, delay. You kiss my hair, then drift away. We share a bed, but not the weight. You show up, but not too late. I'm still here, but still fading. You hold the form, but not the meaning. You kept the name. We stay in touch, but not the same. You didn't leave, but you don't stay. You're in the room, but far away. I'm still here, still reaching through. You love the shell, but not the truth. You hold my hands, but miss my eyes, and that's the part I can't disguise. I don't trust the quiet parts, the way it builds and breaks apart. I've been left mid-sentence too, so now I flinch when love feels true. But you're still here, still holding back. And maybe that's what I can't lack. So teach me how to not be scared, to take your hand and just stay there. I don't need loud, just need real, someone who stays when I feel. I've learned to leave before I fall, pretend the weight was never small. But now your eyes don't look away, and something in me wants to stay. If you have space for broken things, can I be held like I have wings? So teach me how to feel again, to let love in and not defend. I want to want without regret, to not say no when I mean yes. Don't fix me, just wait with me. Not every heart needs symmetry. So teach me how to give you trust, to see the gold, not just the rust. And if I shake, please understand. I wanna stay, just need your hand. You walked in like you own the air. I smiled like I wasn't scared. Your hand brushed mine like a casual game, but something in me forgot my name. knew the cost was more than peace, but you look like the kind of heat I need. I'll burn for this if it means tonight. I'd risk the fall just to feel it right. You could leave with ash and dust, but for one more kiss I'd still trust. Your voice was fire in a quiet room. I leaned in closer like I wanted to. You said don't think, and I obeyed it. Some storms are meant to stay. I won't ask for guarantees, just give me this before you leave. I'd burn for this if it means you stay, even if morning takes you away. You could ruin what's left of me, but I'd still say yes so easily. Some loves don't make it safe, but they make you feel in every place. I'd burn for this and never regret, even if all I get is dead. 'Cause I loved you like a dare I kissed, and some flames are worth the risk. I knew from the start you were a little too calm. I watched how you listened like I was already gone. You told me your past with a shrug and a smile, and something in me stayed one more mile. You never promised that you'd stay, but I kept showing up anyway. And I bet on you like I had something to win, and knowing full well what falling could have been. But I'd rather lose than never begin. You were a risk, but I let you in. My friends said wait, but I never do. You looked like a question I wanted to prove. You said this could break, but held my hand like someone who might understand. You gave me doubt, but I made it hope. Your silence came and I still spoke. 'Cause I bet on you with both feet in, like love was fire and I needed the burn again. You didn't ask, but I still chose. You were the maybe I wanted most. 'Cause I bet on you with both feet in, like love was fire and I needed the burn again. You didn't ask, but I still chose. You were the maybe I wanted most. 'Cause I bet on you with both feet in, like love was fire and I needed the burn again. You didn't ask, but I still chose. You were the maybe I wanted most. 'Cause I bet on you with both feet in, like love was fire and I needed the burn again. You didn't ask, but I still chose. You were the maybe I wanted most. 'Cause I bet on you with both feet in, like love was fire and I needed the burn again. You didn't ask, but I still chose. You were the maybe I wanted most. 'Cause I bet on you with both feet in, like love was fire and I needed the burn again. You didn't ask, but I still chose. You were the maybe I wanted most. 'Cause I bet on you with both feet in, like love was fire and I needed the burn again. You didn't ask, but I still chose. You were the maybe I wanted most. 'Cause I bet on you with both feet in, like love was fire and I ne drawer. Didn't know I kept it anymore. Smells like last fall in your old car, like late night talks under quiet stars. I should have tossed it like the plans we made, but some things stay when memories fade. Your old hoodie still fits like then, not just the fabric, but who I've been. I wear it now when nights get cold. A piece of you I still hold. You weren't perfect, and neither was I. We hurt in ways we didn't try, but that old sleeve knows my tears, so I keep it close through quiet years. You taught me love and how it breaks, but also how a heart remakes. Your old hoodie still calms my storms, like your arms did when the world felt worn. It's just a thread, but means much more than all the fights we tried to ignore. I've forgiven, but won't forget. You left a mark with no regret. And if I'm stronger, it's 'cause of this, the kind of love that still exists. Your old hoodie won't bring you back, but it holds the weight of what we lacked. And maybe now I see it clear. Some loves leave, but still feel near. You spoke like truth, but sold me tricks, built me up on hollow bricks. You watched me climb with steady eyes, then lit the fuse and fed me lies. I gave my hands, you tied them tight, then left me there without a light. My heart's a matchstick, burned too quick. You struck it once just for the kick, but I won't beg to stay on fire. I'll douse it out, walk through the wire. You like control disguised as care. I mistook silence for being there. You held the mirror at the wrong end, so I blamed myself for what you meant. I stitched your name into my skin, but tore it out to start again. My heart's a matchstick, burned too fast. You turned your back and watched it crash. I won't break to prove I tried. I'll stomp the flame before it spreads wide. You taught me pain in perfect form, but now I walk through every storm. Not fearless, just not yours. My heart's a matchstick, no longer yours. I built a wall behind your door. I'll keep the scar, but not the flame. flame. You lit the fire, I left the name. I folded the blanket, but left side you used. Not sure if I was saving it, but just scared to move. The lamp still flickers, like it always did. Funny how the smallest things still know where you've been. I'm not over you, but I don't want you back. I still cry in the kitchen, but it's not just for that. And I don't know what to do with this space. It's not broken, but it's not okay. I went to the cafe, you hated their tea. Sat by the window where you wouldn't sit with me. They said I look tired, I said it's just work. But part of me knew it still kinda hurt. I'm not over you, but I'm not falling apart. I stopped writing drafts, I don't plan to start. And I don't know how to name this ache. It's not anger, but it's not fake. There's no last message, no final fight. Just days where I forget, then cry at night. I'm not over you, but I don't need the why. I'm just here, still learning to try. And I don't know how to feel it yet, but maybe this time I'll let it set. She made me feel small, like something just out of place. I'd catch your eyes drift toward her and vanish without a trace. I tried to be softer, tried to shrink my flame, but every version you wanted never answered my name. She gets to be yours, and I'm still unlearning the way you looked at me like I was always burning. She gets your calm, your hands, your laugh. I get the silence when you never look back. She never had to ask, you gave her all you withheld. I spend my love like a currency in a place you never dwelled. I walked beside you, but always a step behind. Now she stands where I stood, but you call it right time. She gets to be yours in the way I tried to be, but I was too much story, not enough simplicity. She gets your mornings, your songs, your I get the lesson that trying means no more. You said love wasn't meant to feel like regret, but I carry the weight of the things you forget. She gets to be yours while I fade into air. I gave you the map, you just changed who went there. She gets the peace I begged you to see, but I know now not everything you fight for was ever meant to be. We don't fight, but we don't try. You ask you good, I say I might. You make the tea, I stir the room. You leave the light, but not the gloom. We talk in lines we don't believe. I pack my thoughts before you leave. We're not loud, but we're not close. You still stay, but no one knows. Where do we go now? If this is the end, we didn't break, we just don't bend. I hold your hand, you hold the door. We're still here, but less than before. You hum a song I used to like. I'm not alone, but miss the spike. We shared a bed, but not the weight. We lost the spark, then closed the gate. We eat in peace, but sleep alone. We talk of plans, but feel unknown. Where do we go now? If we don't feel, you stay the frame, I fake the real. We write the list but miss the start. We check the box but lose the heart. You ask what's wrong, I say just late. We love in form but not in fate. Where do we go now? If love stands still, we share the name but not the will. We made it far but not all through. Where do we go when I can't find you? The sun came in through the curtain I forgot to close. No dreams last night, no tears on the pillow, just the quiet kind that doesn't it's blooming without knowing why. Maybe peace isn't loud, it just stays without knocking. Still the light comes soft as forgiveness. Still I rise without trying to shine. Still I'm whole in a quiet kind of way. And I don't need more than that. I found the notebook with all your songs. None of them felt like me now. I used to turn every feeling into a verse, every silence into a metaphor. I used your name like it was a chord that meant something. But I got tired of singing to a ghost. I don't write about you well anymore. Not the way you left or the way you stayed too long. I write about the morning I didn't miss you, and how that felt strange but good. You used to be the end of every line. Now you're just a space I skip when I speak. I wrote about you until you stopped feeling real. I don't write about you anymore, and maybe that's why it's finally my song. And it sounds better this way. You didn't look at me like you used to. The rain hit hard, but you stood still by the bench outside that cafe on the hill. Your hands in your pockets, mine holding what you didn't say. You smile like you were somewhere else already. June fell apart on a Tuesday with thunder, but no goodbye. I watched you leave without looking back, and even the sky didn't ask why. I said take care like we weren't just everything last week. You nodded like you meant it, but your eyes couldn't speak. I thought if it rained you might stay, like the weather could buy one more day. But June fell apart and took you with her, and I stood in the rain like we didn't just blur. I don't know what I did or if it matters at all, but love never sounded so small. The light's not on, but it's not dark either, and I'm still awake. Your name doesn't ring like it used to, but it still stays long enough to echo. I cleaned my room, hoping it would help clear you too. No work without leaving a mark, but I still look for the shape of you in quiet. It's almost morning and I haven't moved. I told myself I'm done, but I keep remembering not the love, just the way you said it, like a secret you didn't wanna keep. I deleted everything, but my heart still knows what you look like when you lie. You didn't stay, but you linger in the part of me that wants to believe It's almost morning and I don't miss you, but I still wish you said goodbye. And maybe that's why I'm still here. I thought you were choosing me the way I was choosing you. You held my hand but looked away. You smiled but only on the surface. I told myself this is love, but love should never feel like guessing. You said the right things at the wrong times, and I listened like they still meant something. You made it feel like almost was enough, like silence could speak louder than touch. I wanted what it could have been, but now I'm holding what it wasn't. I gave you every soft part, but you only noticed the shape of my shadow. I asked if you were happy. You said you don't need to worry. You didn't break me, you just let me believe you could stay. You made it feel like we were almost real, like closeness could come without meaning. I stayed for what it could have been, but now I'm walking away from what it wasn't. I didn't say goodbye, I just stopped remembering. You used to call late out of nowhere. Now when the phone lights up, I don't hope it's you. It didn't hurt like I thought it would. It just faded. I left you somewhere quiet, not angry, not broken, just done. You'll always be something, but not the thing I run to. still fits in a line I never finished, but I'm not writing it anymore. You didn't ask, but I stopped waiting, and that counts for something. I left you somewhere soft in the space where I stopped looking back. No fireworks, no fall, just me and the quiet that stayed when you didn't. I didn't plan this, didn't try, but your laugh slipped under mine. I used to count the reasons why love could break me, but you just listened, never tried to save me. Now here we are, hands too close, and I don't flinch like I used to most. Every wall I built too high, you never climbed, you waited outside, and I fell into it without the fear, without a voice, screaming disappear. You held the silence till I spoke, you kept the weight when I broke. This isn't loud, but it's true, and somehow I'm loving you. I fell into it. We don't talk about forever, but every night you make it better. You don't ask for more than I can give, you just show me how to live. I stop holding on to pain, and your name fit in the space I couldn't name, and I fell into it like light in the morning, quiet right. You never rushed, you just stayed till I felt safe again. This isn't loud, but it's real, and somehow you made me feel. I fell into it. You said you'd fight if there was a way, but silence was easier to say. We built a house out of maybes and mights, but couldn't sleep there at night. You looked at me like you still cared, but stepped away like I wasn't there. I felt the goodbye in your hand before you even let go. It's not that we don't love, we just don't know what to do with it. Not this time, not in this life. We wrote the song but never got the knows I kept the blame, and neither one helps ease the pain. I tried to write it all down straight, but nothing felt the same. We weren't wrong, we just weren't enough. And maybe that's what hurts the most. Not this time, not in this life. We touched the spark but blew out the light. You and I could have been right, but some love never learns to fight. Not this time, but you'll always be a piece of mine. Not this time. You haven't called, but I still check. Like silence might change its mind. I replay the way you look and look when love was something you still wore. You smiled like you didn't mean to, and maybe you didn't. I hold what you left like a secret, but it's loud in here. This is the loudest quiet I've ever known. Your absence echoes like you never meant to be still. I keep expecting your voice to break through the air. I talk to your side of the bed and listen like memory has volume. I don't need an apology, I just need to stop hoping. This is the loudest quiet I've ever held. Your name sits behind everything I say, and I still wait like something might break the silence, but it ever dark. Does. This is the loudest quiet I've ever had. Your name sits behind everything I say, and I still wait like something might break the silence, but it ever dark. Left it in my notes, didn't send it, but I meant it. Typed out your name, then backspace twice, change it to you, just in case. You always hate it when I overthink, so I drafted and never hit send. I left it in my notes at 2:04 a.m. under grocery lists and dream ideas. Just one more thing I almost said, but saved for later and never showed. You like the truth, but not when it's done. So I softened till it said nothing. There's a folder with your name, full of things you'll never read. I left it in my notes next to a half-written song, a date I never brought up, and a joke you get. I didn't delete it, but I didn't need to. It's just there, like you still are unread, but not unwritten. I don't flinch when your name shows up anymore, but I still don't save new numbers. I light one candle instead of two, and somehow the room feels full enough. I make my tea how I like it, not how you remembered. I'm not fine, but I'm softer with myself now. I'm almost myself again, not the version you left, not the girl who bent just to keep someone looking. I'm still here, and that feels new. I play songs you never liked, a little louder than before. I wear the jacket you said didn't suit me, and I look like me again. I stopped checking the mirror for who you would want. I'm almost myself again, and this time I'll stay. No more shrinking just to feel safe. No more waiting to be chosen. I choose me now. I wasn't looking for someone. I was learning how to stay alone. I made peace with empty seats, late night walks, just me and my thoughts. And then you showed up like it wasn't anything at all. And maybe it wasn't meant to last, but still you made me laugh. You made me wanna try again, open doors I swore I'd shut. You made me wanna lean on someone without bracing for the fall. I don't know if it's forever, but you made me want to want at all. I stopped writing poems, but you became one without trying. You talk like time is slow when we're not hiding. You don't promise the moon, but you sit with me in the dark, and that might be enough. You made me wanna open windows, let the light touch things I closed. You made me wanna be a little less alone. And even if you go, you'll always be the first who made me want to hope. I found your note, folded into nothing. No name, just the way you always ended things. I kept the coffee warm, even after you left. Some habits aren't for people, they're for memory. I didn't ask if you were sure. You didn't offer to explain. We had silence that sounded like we meant well, but didn't know how to stay. You barely said goodbye, just a look I still carry in my throat. And I let you leave, like maybe you'd turn around, but maybe you already had. The chair you used still leans back a little, like it remembers your weight. I water the plant you forgot to take, but it leans toward the window more than before. You didn't break me, but you left like someone who knew exactly how to disappear. You barely said goodbye, but it echoed in the quiet for weeks. And now the house is fine, but something in me still waits for the door. You're 6 hours ahead, still sent a good night. I read it slow under yellow light. You said the moon looked kinda like mine. Maybe that's how we share the sky. I miss you most at coffee breaks, in silent songs in empty plates. I'm under half the sky, but thinking of you full time. In every train, in every street, I find where you used to be. You're in the corners of my room, in the quiet afternoon. No need for stars to tell me why you're always here in half the sky. Your hoodie still hangs by the door. I wear it when I feel unsure. The sleeves still fold like your embrace, and I still lean into empty space. We didn't mean for miles to grow, but love stayed close. You should know I'm under half the sky, but you're the thought that never dies. In every line I try to write, you appear like soft twilight. You're in the way my silence sings, in the pool of missing things. No need for stars to tell me why you're always here in half the sky. In half the sky. I'm under half the sky, but you're the thought that never dies. In every line I try to write, you appear like soft twilight. You're in the way my silence sings, in the pool of missing things. No need for stars to tell me why you're always here in half the sky.